Hello, I'm Dr. Bang Jisung, the hair specialist dedicated to protecting your hair. It's a pleasure to be here. The 6-month milestone is really when you start to see the growth. After the initial dormant phase for 1 or 2 months, hair growth initiation begins around month 3 or 4. So by 6 months, some people see visibly fuller hair, while others are just starting to see it come in. For those with high expectations for their results, the 6-month mark can actually cause some patient anxiety. Let me explain the recovery process. After the initial shedding, new natural hair usually starts growing in from the sides of the head first, on the right and left. It grows like this from the sides and then moves inward. I often explain it by saying, if there are curtains, the curtains close like this. So, when the curtains close, they meet in the middle, don't they? That's why the area around your hair parting and the very center is the slowest growth area. So the hair grows in from the sides, and by about 6 months, those curtains haven't fully met in the middle yet. For most individuals, for those whose hair grows faster, the curtains may meet, but for slower growers, they might not have yet. Sometimes the center can still appear V-shaped, or even just be partly closed. So at the 6-month milestone, it's common to still have areas that are somewhat incompletely filled in, and sparse patches. At the 6-month milestone, we can estimate both the hair's growth rate and its thickening speed. We can also evaluate the patient's overall management capabilities and the effectiveness of any medication. This is precisely why I always recommend that patients attend their follow-up progress checkup at the 6-month mark. At 6 months, think of it this way. If you can see about half of what was transplanted, that's a truly successful outcome. Because if you exclude the first month or 2 for the dormant phase, and growth starts from month 3, that's only 4 months of growth 3, 4, 5, 6. So I usually tell patients to expect about 10% growth per month on average, or 15% if they're lucky, for hair growth. At best, that's a recovery percentage of about 40 to 60%. So if you're at about 50%, you're right on average, which is good. It means that as long as you continue on this path, your results will only get better. That's the best way to think about it. Now, different doctors might have varying opinions on this, but from my continuous follow-up observations, I've noticed that the right side consistently grows faster than the left. It grows in more fully. This is because most of us part our hair on the left. So, what I think is that this side is more like a single unit, and it gives the impression of moving inward to meet with the other side. So it feels like the growth on this side is faster. Even at 3 months, the right side is a bit faster. By 4 or 5 months, you get the feeling that the right side has grown in quite a lot by the 6-month mark. The left side, meanwhile, feels like it's just beginning to fill in. Now, there's no precise answer or exact measurement for the growth speed difference between sides, but based on my clinical observations, the right side is generally quicker. So I often tell patients, the right side will probably grow faster and look better sooner. Just keep an eye on it. At 6 months, people say, my right side is fine, but I'm worried about my left. I hear that a lot. You really don't need to worry too much. The left side usually catches up by around the 9-month mark. So truly, there's no need to worry. For men, even if the hair grows in thick, they're just happy it's filling in, so there's less anxiety. But for women who get the surgery to look prettier, if the new hair feels like pig's bristle, or it's too thin or too thick and the texture is off, they're honestly not very happy. When hair grows out and appears curly, it often means the root isn't robust enough yet. As it regrows, going from thick to thin, then thick to thin again, the hair's curl pattern hasn't fully established itself properly yet in some instances. There are some individuals for whom the hair's outer cuticle layer hasn't completely matured yet. This means the hair isn't normal, so it has a kinked appearance. And especially with hair dyeing, you'll notice poor dye absorption. The hair texture is poor and the color doesn't take well, so up until 6 months, it's not a cosmetically pretty phase. Thus, up to the 6-month mark, I usually characterize it as the joy of filling in. If you simply take satisfaction in the fact that it's filling in, rather than expecting immediate aesthetic beauty, you'll feel much more at peace and relaxed during this phase. Occasionally, some people have faster growth, and their hair texture and thickness improve more quickly. But given the extensive individual variations, there really is no definitive answer on how it will all unfold. So please don't worry too much. With time, your hair will certainly become thicker, the curl will look more beautiful, and later, when you dye or perm it, it will appear much more natural. Today marks 6 months post-surgery, a time when results really start to emerge. This can be a time for satisfaction to grow or for worries to deepen. However, you're just rounding the turning point now, so please don't worry too much. Just tell yourself, I'm doing well, let's keep working hard. Thank you.